This is an explanation of how to add and subtract polynomials, okay? So sometimes when they ask you to add two polynomials, they'll put them in an expression like this with an addition or subtraction in between and parentheses around each one, okay? And the important thing here is to remember that you're combining like terms. I think it's easier if you arrange them horizontally. So you put like the 2n plus 6 on the top, okay? And then you put 3n cubed plus 3n squared plus n plus 2 on the bottom, like that. And you see I've lined up the number terms on top of each other. I've lined up the n terms on top of each other, the n squareds and the n cubed. Of course, there's no n squared term in the first polynomial. There's no n cubed term in the first polynomial, so I've put them underneath blank spaces here just to hold the space. Just kind of like when we add numbers that are bigger than the other. Okay, so we're lining up the polynomials by the degree of the variable. Okay, and so now when we add them up, we just go through these vertical lines and we add up everything in this vertical line, everything in this vertical line, everything in this vertical line, and everything in this vertical line. Pretty easy, right? All right, now let's do a subtraction problem. Subtraction problems are a little bit more tricky because in addition to lining up the expressions, one thing you need to do is be careful to distribute the negative sign. So if I have minus 6x squared plus 1, 6x squared plus 1 is in parentheses, then I need to take the negative sign, I need to multiply it times the 6x squared, then I need to multiply it times the 1. And so what I end up with is negative 6x squared and negative 1. Since I've distributed the subtraction sign as a negative sign, I don't need to subtract it after I've written it like this. I can just add everything together, right? So do you see how I've lined up the x squareds and I've lined up the number terms, also called the constant term? And there's no x term in this expression, so I've just left a blank here. Now that I've lined them up, then it's pretty easy to do the subtraction. So 9x squared minus 6x squared is 3x squared. 2 minus 1 is 1. And, I have 6x here on top, and I don't have anything here, so the result between 6x plus 0 is 6x. So here is the result of my subtraction.